Well, shaking folks, back with another reaction, back with some more Leonard Nimoy at long last. I do apologize to Han Solo. I mentioned I was going to do the next Nimoy reaction literally like, I don't know, 2.5 weeks ago. And because of the nature of the tune, which you can see in the title, it felt like it had to be the last reaction of whatever batch I was going to do it in, because it's, we'll have the final thoughts from Mr. Spock himself, and we'll, let that rest. And then, I'm always optimistic in terms of how many videos I can try to shoot in a given session, and I kept running out of time for it, so I've moved it up. I'm going to try to still shoot a couple videos after this, but I wanted to make sure I got this one in. Once again, apologies to Han Solo. We'll have more Shatner and more Nimoy soon as a way to try to, balance the scales a bit. But yeah, Spock Thoughts. I feel like, there's not much explanation needed. It's clearly building right off of his character from Star Trek, and perhaps whether this is lines that are used in the different movies or maybe the TV show, or whether this is just an extrapolation from the character that is in the show and the movies, and building on what he might say if he were to give life advice to people, or at least observational comments about life, the universe, other people, humanity, and so on. And again, humanity, in the case of a Vulcan, is obviously, I don't know the original run of Star Trek nearly as well as I know Next Generation, but I believe there's a lot of comments where Spock is essentially, even if in some ways like praising the anomalous status of someone like Kirk relative to other humans, or perhaps seeing him as indicative of other humans, I do think there's some denigrating or at least critical perspectives on humanity, yes? So yeah, curious to hear what these Spock Thoughts are. Let's just get it. This is Leonard Nimoy, and the track is called the Spock Thoughts.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence.
Fair enough.
As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit.
But sometimes those are one and the same.
If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially, do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years,
Like the volume
gracefully surrendering to the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations. In the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful, strive to be happy.
Thank you, Mr. Spock. It's, I feel like, I suppose it would be, there are some who will sort of take that with a grain of salt, and it's a bit like tongue in cheek and so on. But I don't know. I find a lot of lines that are valid, even if some of the perspectives at the end. It's like, I'm not sure like how to uh, bring that into focus in terms of everyone's experience, meaning the way that people see the universe, or the way that people see fortunes going one way or another, the way they see their own worth relative to others. These will vary based on subjective experiences and attitudes and personalities. But again, I think there's a lot of wisdom in there, and I think I find many of those lines to be very inspiring. So again, even if it's a bit silly to hear Mr. Spock tell us life advice and philosophical perspective, I think there is stuff you can take away there on a like genuinely inspiring, meaningful level. So yeah, big ups to Mr. Nimoy. Shout out to Han Solo once again. Like I said, it won't be too long before we come back for another one of these, as well as another of Sir Shatner. So yeah, do let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.